Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Relays video blog. I'm Airy Sky. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're a comer backer, welcome. First of all, I want to make a joke today to all of you. I find this to be pretty funny. Yeah, so one of the things I want to say while I mute my microphone here, yeah, here it is that's right. Are we prepped for nuclear weapons being used? Now, a guy went to NATO today to talk about 13 days before the war started about working with NATO on tactical nuclear weapons to be used in Iran. Now, apparently, allegedly, the same guy, the Deputy Secretary of Defense, I understand my stepbrother would be like, it's the Deputy of War. I'm not calling it war, okay? We're calling it yeah. Anyway, there we go. Apparently, one guy just said on my screen here that everything was made about Donald Trump over Dolly Parton. Well, I'm going to say bless Dolly Parton and bless, yeah. So I'm going to go into YouTube Studio. We had a little problem earlier. Apparently my little joke blew up in my own face. I'm not going to do closed caption. If you want closed captions, you can figure it out yourself. So I'm making sure my content isn't in Japanese because apparently I made a joke about it yesterday. But I've decided through my Instagram people who have messaged me, a lot of people found me on Instagram. Thank you. Welcome aboard, guys. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're coming back, or welcome. A lot of these nice people have told me outright that the joke was in there and then it locked me into, yeah, so basically, right there, basically it says English, and that I'm not turning on the closed captions. I'm not going to because last time I tried it screwed up. So I'm not going to watch a video where it's my stepbrother goes, oh, you need to turn on the thing. I'm not turning on Jack Diddley Poopers. Matter of fact, I don't care. And then they call me selfish, okay? Hey, what's up? Here's my little boy here. Look at my little boy. Let's see. Actually, what's up, little boy? This is little boy Moppy. How you doing, little boy? Oh, look at him. He says, welcome, everyone. You chewing on your chew stick again? There you go, bud. So, yeah. So, today we're going to be talking about nuclear weapons. Now, it's on the table. I've said it time and time again. There's only a few cards that President Trump can use. Basically, I'm going to say president because I don't want to basically people say, oh, Donald Trump this and that. President Trump can use. One is he could use the almighty tactical nukes in the Pickaxe Mountains of Iran and try to drop them in there and annihilate their atomic weapons. Now, if you've been listening and following my channel, you'd realize that what's going on with President Donald Trump is they basically have nuclear weapons on the table. Now, there's a lot of people out there going, oh, well, we're going to win. We're going to be a blue tsunami. Oh, no, I'm the 10th. We're going to be a red tsunami after you Democrats. There's a lot of independents right now that literally, President Trump's approval rating is 13% for independents. 13%. They're not approving of the Iranian war. They're approving of, they don't like the grocery prices. And I was looking over grocery prices yet again. I mean, literally, when does this end? And this guy's getting a haircut. That's expensive. But guess what, people? As an old lady that I am, I'm here to tell you, we have nothing to reckon with right now. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. We don't see it open over the weekend, right? So basically, the guy in the United Nations, he's probably talking to the Deputy Secretary of Defense, the second in command, about unleashing tactical nukes, okay? Now, this has been on the table for a while. I've told you this time and time again. There's several outcomes that can happen here if the nukes are being used. And today I want to talk about it before I go game because I haven't gamed in a couple of days. And frankly, I want to tell you guys what's going on. Okay. A lot of you have messaged me. You're like, hey, Colonel. Oh, Colonel. Hey, Colonel. You're right on the money. They're looking at the numbers. Numbers is Democrats are up. States that could be not being able to be won in 2024 is up on the ballot for 2026. Iowa, for example, could be blue. Texas could be blue, hypothetically. I get family going, well, we'll go to Texas, we'll just overthrow the Texas government and take it for ourselves. Really? So you're going to overthrow the government and take it for yourself? Come on, people. Texas is going like, right? Anyways. Point is what is going to happen truly. My family, I have extended family that says all this about Texas, right? Iowa, Nebraska. It could all the way go up. I mean, if it goes the way it looks and there's a blue tsunami, we're screwed. Anyway, look at it, you're screwed. I mean, here's the problem, what's going on, okay? These people turned around the other day, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this, that I'm not going to give you misinformation, that this is the alleged information. Allegedly, the taxpayers, the Republicans go, oh, well, look at me, I'm a Republican, I want to own Dems, I'm going to own Libs, I'm going to own Libs, we can't have people have sex changes on my dime, I'm going to own Libs. Then they turn around, right, and this is what they do on Instagram. The other day I was talking to a guy who said, go ahead. There's a transgendered woman in England who goes, oh, look at me, I'm 51 and hot and everyone wants me. You're in England for one. 2 is you're 51. 3 is you're not that attractive. You can still see male features. And 4, men want a woman. As a lot of these Republicans claim, they want a trad wife. They want a wife that basically cook, clean, do their, satisfy the man. The woman is the tool. The woman is owned. Okay? A lot of women out there, yeah. And then you have others. I mean, I watched the one lady who's was a Republican, voted Republican, claimed that their relationship was their roommate, and then finally came out and said, we're moving out of Texas because everyone would want to kill us because we're lesbian. Oh, really? So you're a lesbian that lives in Texas? Thought there was plenty of Texas. I think it was what? Austin, the capital, had so many gay people apparently there, but everywhere else it's like, don't show, I mean, there's too many people talking about too many woke issues, alright, apparently. And it's like me, alright, people sit there and they see me and they're like, oh, woke. What am I woke for, huh? Because I walk down the street at times, I got a miniature schnauzer as a service dog. See, when he starts to grump, you just got to give him a hug. Don't put a hole in my sweatshirt I just found. This one's pretty cool. So, see, I gotta give him his little treat here. Anyways, bottom line is, are you prepared? I think we're gonna have to go through this today. It's Friday, alright? I wanted a game today. I also got other crap I gotta do. And so, let's get to it. So, are you prepped? Are you ready to roll? Because I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. You see, I've said it time and time again. The midterms are coming around the corner. Are you prepped? Are you ready to go? Are you going to sit there and be like, oh, the midterms are around the corner? Yeah. Because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And the problem is, a lot of you people out there, fine folks, have been asking me questions like, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? I can't tell you that. I just love Amazon, how they went from yesterday 6 down to 3. Only 3 items in stock. Tomorrow it'll be up to like 9, or it won't even be on there. Amazon is really having some problems. So a lot of Amazon is really having some problems anyways. I'm monitoring food. So let's go over to the Buy It Again program, because remember, so stock market, okay, here's my theory again. Remember yesterday's theory, right? I told you yesterday. Or I deleted it because apparently my little prank didn't work, so I'll say it again. Watching the stock market go up and down. What is it? Huh? What is it? Huh? You want something? Did you? Your choose right there. See, he wants attention. He's like, Mama, pay attention to me, Mama. Mama, 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 mama. Look at that face. He's got a face only a mama can look. There you go, buddy. Here you go. So, Hey, that is my new sweatshirt. You're not putting a hole in it. Keeps putting holes in my sweatshirts. I can't contain this little guy, this little teethy. Alright, so stock market went down today. Okay, yesterday it went up like 20 points. Alright, 0.20 points. Okay, you can sit there and be like, oh, that's not bad. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. Yeah, well, let me just put it this way. Are you preparing? Because the stock market went down today. And went down, I just looked at Dow Jones, S&P 500. So it went down about 0.20 points. So it went down, it lost money today. Now I know my stepbrother, oh, I lost money today. Don't care. Pretty much, I don't care. You see, a poor person shouldn't be investing in extra retirement, okay? They should be basically slogging it out with the rest of us. They shouldn't, I mean, this is how I see it, okay? So, a lot of people sit there and, yeah, so, anyways. So, for example, my Mexican toilet paper was $3 higher yesterday. It's $3 lower today. So, there you have it. So, your toilet paper went down. Then you have your food. Your food price went down again. Stock market. Paper products went down. I'm looking at the numbers right here. I'll go over to Walmart in a second. But as you could, from my own eyes, everything dropped price again. And besides that, another problem, I'll tell you another reason why it went down today. Because Amazon's algorithms. Now the algorithms is an interesting theory because Amazon, you follow the algorithm, even electronics have gone down today. Electronics, except for computers, went down like, oh, what is it? Here, let me show you what I do with doggies that try to chew me. See? See? You lightly nibble on their ear so that doesn't hurt them, but they really don't even think that hurt. Here. Go there and go chew on that. I'm not going to be on the bed if you try taking my eye. See, that was a little aggressive. That dog. See, you just lightly toss them and they go 4 legs. They look at you and they're like, see, his teeth were right here, so almost hit my eyeball. And right now I have enough eye problems. See, there he goes again. I'm not talking to you. So, electronics and accessories have gone down. A lot of food stuff went down. There's 2 reasons for it. I'll give you a reason for it. Because a lot of you are like, oh, the certain toiletries went down, certain toiletries went up. Depends on what you want to pay. Now, with me, of course, I like buying other things. So, for example, I personalize. Some people say, oh, well, it's got to be Tide or it's got to be nothing. Well, that's your opinion. I like Gain myself, so I buy Gain by the boatload. Gain is what I like. So, yeah. So what I do is I go Gain, Moonlight Breeze. So we go Gain, Moonlight Breeze, right? Now you can get a bigger block at Costco, but I prefer right here. See? Right there. Purchased 9 times. I'm almost out of laundry detergent, so I'm going to look at laundry detergent. And then it tells you right there, they're like, you're going to have 170, yeah, so basically I buy a whole bucket load because this is what you need for laundry, and it helps, and this is what I use every doggone time. I won't use anything else in this day and age. I mean, literally, you have to ask yourself. I mean, a couple of jugs of that will last you 6 months to a year. So you prep now and you won't have to worry. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, laundry detergent won't go up. Laundry detergent may not go down, go up or down. But what will happen if you don't have any available? What happens if people start? I mean, think about it. If you see a toilet paper problem, okay, now a lot of you have been asking me again and again and again, can you explain to me, Colonel, the ins and outs of your theory on items? or the nuclear thing. All right, so the nuclear problem. All right, now my stepbrother be like, "Oh, you're wrong. Oh, you're wrong. Oh, you're wrong." Problem is this. All right, in this day and age, you got to ask yourself the questions, and the questions are, and this is a big question, and that is, the only way that the midterms can be stopped is if he drops a nuclear bomb in Iran, and then all countries counterfile and go after his bacon, and go after his bacon, and then while he's doing it, he goes and says there's negative elections because we are in martial law due to the fact that I had to drop a nuke because Iran is a threat. But you can also turn around and be like, oh yeah, NATO's a threat. NATO won't let me bomb Iran, so I'm going to bomb Iran, and then any country that counters, I'll bomb you all. And then they'll say it's a national emergency and shut down elections. That's something that could be coming down the pipe because there's not many things. Because if you look at the numbers currently, and I don't support the things, I say you reap what you sow, okay? Unfortunately, sorry, I did the thingy. I do like the fact that I do the thing, but you guys get the idea. Literally, he just wants to sit there and drops it. Now, this is the only option he can. School's coming around the corner, okay? A lot of people cannot afford different things. Like, for example, let me see here. I'm just checking something real quick. So, apparently, let me look here. Yeah, so don't you just love when you're like looking for a product and it tells you right there, it's like, yes, buy standard. And then it doesn't tell you when the sale ends. That's the thing I don't like. Release date, yeah, anyways. I'm looking for a product real quick on Steam. You see, at the beginning of the month, I look at sale prices, and if anything ain't on sale, I don't buy it. But in this day and age, you got to ask yourself many questions, like, what will you afford? What will you actually buy? Now, I'm always worried about this little guy here. So, anyways, to make it short and sweet in the video, this is one option he can do, alright? The other option is he can just let it play out and see what happens, but yeah, I hear people like, oh, we need the ICE Gestapos. That's what I hear from these mainstream. So basically suppress our vote so you can't vote. I'm walking straight into the voter's office. I already talked to them. Sitting down with Moppy next to me, and I'm going to punch my ballot right there. Do my thing, slip it in, and hand it directly there. She'll take my ballot. She'll give me my receipt that it's in. She has to. And I'll walk out smiling that it's done. Why? This is why people need to realize that you can vote in person. Now, my stepbrother, I say we just take away voting in any state like my stepbrothers and be like, sorry, sir, if you can't get off your butt and do the mail order, oh, well, I get in my car and I drive it over. Well, not my problem. My problem is see, my problem is you got these Republican crapheads that turn around and want to suppress everyone because they think they're entitled. You don't see me entitled. You know what I see? I see there's only so many options. And right now, I saw a guy the other night go, oh, we need Donald Trump. We need President Trump. We need President as a dictator. We don't need Congress and Senate, really. So you don't want a Congress and Senate because you think your country, the Senate and Congress are useless and they don't do things. Oh, so basically this guy is saying it doesn't do it. Oh, and he's, I support we using all our nukes against everyone. Then we could go to God. You think God's going to sit there and be like, hey, Republican Bob, sorry to say, but you wanted to take away everyone's health care, everyone's this, everyone's that. There's two versions of Jesus, by the way. Jesus version 1. He healed everyone freely. He fed everyone freely. Remember the bread and loaves. I can pull my Bible up. The breads and loaves. He fed 4,000 people at one time, 5,000 people another time, on 7 loaves and a few barley breads. That's not socialism? And everyone goes, oh, we're going to go to communists. Have you even studied communist people? Let me tell you what communism is. Communism is where the states come in and tell you you have nothing. You don't own anything. Everything is stripped and everything's doled out, like the old churches, where the church would sit there and someone would sell their farms and hand the money to the apostles, Peter and Paul, and they dole it out. Do you really think Peter and Paul would be like, oh, Jesus won't understand. We'll just take a little to the side for our needs. Think about it. I mean, think about it, right? I saw a lady the other day was talking about how Christianity is so damn crappy that she is a cowgirl. And apparently, allegedly, she only believes in the Quran. Now, you can get a copy of this for free. Free copy of this if you just go and look for the Sahih International right there. But do I support this? If you're Islam, I support it. I'm a universal minister. Now, I have my own Quran that I love. My Quran, in my opinion, is awesome. But currently I'm reading this. The Holy Scriptures, the Jehovah's Witness Bible, because I find it to be interesting. I'm almost finished Romans yet again. My main Bible, let me show you this was my main Bible. See? New King James. This one, this is the one I go to every time now. Think about it. $20. Best investment ever. God's Word. I'm almost done with 1 John. I work on 2 John, 3 John, Jude. I have a Bible study I work on. Guess what? Thing is right now we need God. Most people don't worship God. You know what you guys worship? Every one of you little viewers of mine, right? Let me tell you. You come to my channel. You love my channel. You message me, email me. Great video. Love how you speak direct to the camera, and you tell the people what you think and how you think, and you don't hold back. I'm not like these people out there that basically post videos saying, oh, President Trump is stonewalled on the latest elections mail-in voting ballot thing. And they get 100,000 views within an hour. People go, oh, wow, this is real news. Real news is independent journalists that go in and don't sit there. I don't take any money from anyone, and I don't have subscribers. I always say, you guys want to donate, you can donate a gift card. You can donate the tools that I could use to keep this channel going so I can continue to give you the real news and how to prep. See these preppers? Oh, there are 3 million preppers. You don't want to believe that Colonel prepper. They just tell you to buy canned goods if you can afford it, and potassium iodide tubs. You need like $500,000 in prepping gear. Really, $500,000 prepping gear? I'll tell you how I prep. You look in your pantry. You see you have everything you need. Your silverware, your knives, everything. You don't need to buy a specialty knife for prepping. I mean, literally. Yeah, they're like, oh, you need this and you need that. Really? So as a prepper, how many times have I told you guys, hypothetically, when you buy a device, for example, eventually it goes to a trash heap. I mean, literally, I want to see people listen to people and hear people, because most people don't even hear that. They just look at me and they're going, is she for real? Think about it. Did you buy your potassium iodide tablets in case radiation? Have you? I mean, literally, Chloe's got some, I got some, everyone's got some. Think about it. Problem is, the American people have to prep. That's the thing. Yeah? I mean, literally. What do you think? There goes the ferry. Look at all this crap in my inbox. I mean, literally, yeah. So anyways, and then we got this trade war in Canada, and I hear, oh, we're going to suffer. We are going to suffer. Think about it. If you're not buying cars in Canada and you're not buying parts from Canada, I mean, look, you got to look at the big picture. What do you buy in Canada? I mean, literally, I just was looking on my device about Costco. And we're going to do Costco in a second because on the app, it'll tell you exactly what you can and can't buy. For example, we'll go into my tablet here. By the way, I found desktop mode to be very, very good. Okay. So, alright. So, let's go to Costco. Takes a minute to boot up. Okay, so we're going to go to Costco here. Every time I turn around. The desktop mode's pretty cool. See? It's got the new icons on the bottom, so it's like better than the phone mode. It loads up like a desktop, so it says like battery level and Wi-Fi and volume. And I watched the video last night. I need to actually charge this up again. So, if it will let me. Okay, so we go to warehouse, right? So we know Canada makes maple syrup, right? What happens? Oh, we'll just buy Vermont syrup. Really, state of Vermont, basically. Yeah. So, anyways. So, for example, the first thing we're going to look at today, because for my stepbrother is the price of gas. So, gas currently is approximately $4.65 for regular and $5.19 for that. And this is for my local office. See, $8.99 for beef loin tops. But you can see right there, fuel price. So I'm not lying to you guys. There it is. My stepbrother's an idiot half the time on that. I mean, literally, people. Okay, so first we're gonna turn around and go maple. Alright, so we're going to do maple. Has maple syrup gone up? That's Canadian whiskey. Alright, so you got maple syrup. Right there. It says right there. Syrup from Kirkland, right here, organic golden maple syrup from Canada. Went up in price. Roasted duck. That's not bad. Anyways, let's look at this. This is limited edition product of Canada. See, product of Canada, right there. And the USDA's got to approve it. Now we go, and by the way, our meats from Costco are usually the same thing. So, anyways, one of the things you can tell if tariffs go up, Costco, here it is. Boneless ribeye steaks, $19 a pound. Beef ribeye whole lip-on, right here. Beef ribeye whole, $14.99. It's boneless. So they're trying to compete with other places, but for $14.99, you gotta ask yourself one question: why is regular boneless ribeye steaks $18.99 and you're buying a whole block for $14.99? See? Yeah, think about it. Right there, beef ribeye whole boneless USDA prime $17.99. So you get regular and non-regular. Beef ribeye roast boneless $18.99. Now I know what you're thinking, Colonel. You're insane talking about rib roast in this economy. Yes, I am, but I'm here to make a point. Okay. Now we're here to make a point. So if you look at everything you buy at Costco, whether your meats, you always check your meats, and most of the meats, right? What if I told you Now, one of the items you need to look forward to lower the price is Kirkland's own Canadian whiskey. Now, when I drank, that stuff was smooth. Mix it with cola and include you go to the town. Fortunately, in this day and age, this is the way it goes. Yeah, so you have that right here. Half gallon of black velvet, peppery, garbagey, $14.99 for a half gallon. Wouldn't buy it. So we're looking Kirkland Signature Kentucky bourbon right there, $30, right? Aged in Bardstown. There's only like, what, 3 distilleries in Bardstown apparently. You can figure out which one Kirkland's using. Or you can just Google it. Google usually tells you. Now we're looking for another. There's that Irish whiskey, Ireland. I tried a bottle of that. Wasn't that tasty in my opinion. Here we go. What everyone ranks and smiles about it. The Crown. $49 for a half gallon. Right. So to me it's not bad. But when I sit there and I talk about liquor, I'm talking about, I like Woodford, but I'm not buying it. You see where I'm going with this? So when you look at stuff from Canada, you got to ask yourself, right? Now, toilet paper. I just heard that toilet paper, Costco contracts their paper products and have the wood contracted up north. So your toilet paper will go up. Like right here, currently it's $21 for 30 rolls. $22 for 36 rolls. So their paper towels and toilet paper will be going up by September 8th. Now, I don't mind if you sit there and you didn't stockpile and then all of a sudden I have toilet paper, Chloe's got toilet paper, and my stepbrother goes, "Oh, I went to the store and the toilet paper was 50% more." I warned you. I mean, look, we're basically stockpiling toilet paper right now. Paper towels, garbage bags. I mean, if you want to see what me and Chloe's doubling down, both of us, I'll show you. So if you go over to cart, your shopping cart is empty. Your shopping cart is empty. Is there a way to look? Oh, my account. Let's look in here. Try again. See, it's like so yeah, so it shows my store, but it ain't loading. Okay, so it's signing in. So when you look, here we go. It's like, oh, your account may be hacked. Nah, it's not been hacked. Google's always trying to piss me off with that damn scam. I mean, literally, my passwords I always rotate once a month. To me, it's like, anyways, it doesn't matter, peeps. Alright, so. Alright, here's my shopping cart, okay? Current shopping cart. And it's an important one because I've been prepping for groceries. So, razor was for my legs. Yeah, so basically we're going to do it this way. I got save for later, this stuff that Chloe has to buy herself. I'm not buying it. So, Chloe keeps talking about antacids. That's another thing you should prep for, is antacids. Yeah. So, when you start prepping and you're looking at everything that Chloe says, oh, I need this and I need that, you turn around and what do? You literally work with Chloe, but at the same time, you got to look at your own needs. And for that, I put it all in save again because she has her own Costco cart connected, so what she has is what she has. So if she needs antacids, she buys antacids. She says, oh, I need antacids. Well, you ain't freeloading off me on antacids. I tell you that already. I mean, literally. So When it comes to prepping, for example, prepping is different. So, like right here, I got my tablet, and there's like 7 types of antacids. As you look at the antacid pricing for Costco, my bill goes down because I don't need antacids. I use certain meds. And of course, my stepbrother goes, "Oh, what meds do you use?" Doesn't matter, right? So, anyways, so then you basically are getting ready to prep, right? So you prep. So a lot of people ask me about why don't I use it. I use it from time to time. Okay, so you can see half my order currently is antacids because Chloe needs to choose one. Thing is, Chloe can't choose one. She'd just probably choose whatever. They got these chewy ones, but she'd probably chew them up 2 at a time and be like, I'm out a week later. So each time you turn around, you basically look at the bigger picture pricing, you're going to realize that when you're prepping, this is the stuff you got to prep for. So, for example, as a Costco member, I got right here toilet paper, paper towels, Ziploc bags, garbage bags, dish soap. That's it. Oh, and this is not mine again. There. So, same thing that's in my shopping cart is the same items in Chloe's shopping cart because she can't keep freeloading off people. She has to basically have her supplies. So, when you buy something like this, you look at this and you realize this enough would get you through for an entire 3 to 6 months. And that is good because that's what you want. Fortunately, Chloe thinks spur of the moment, right? So a friend of mine was asking me the other day about spending habits. I said, the only thing I spent in March and April was $2,600 and May and so forth for my little doggy here. He was $2,600. You think that's an expensive purchase? Yes. You think he was worth it? Yes. Why? Because he's my friend. Hi. Apparently they say you can't buy friendship, but I guess he's not just friends. We're family. What's up, buddy? Huh? You look forward to your first haircut? Should train him to get into the bath more. I should give him a bath one of these days. He's gonna get a haircut from the lady. Make sure it's very short, so that I can get less grooming times in between. So, bottom line is, for some of you lovely people, is what are we gonna do about this nuclear thing? Well, you got 2 choices. You can sit around and you can create a Yoba, Stardew Valley reference, that you don't get nuked. Pray to the sons of Adam, a Fallout 4 thingy, where we all get nuked because apparently they worship Adam. Yeah, it's funny, right? Anyways, so, yeah. Anyways, well, today the 28th, tomorrow's the 29th, right? That means the end of the month is coming, which means eventually we will be seeing our current electric bill, which is fine by me because it always gets paid. People are like, oh, how much is it? Well, it depends. Depends on how much electricity we use. You see, the bill should be basically given to us in the next few days. Yeah. So I'm seeing if they, oh yeah, we're experiencing technical issues still, really. So, user comparison. Yeah. User exploration. Well, I don't want to pass bills. You see that? It's loading slow. So here we go. Alright, so I got this. So it says unbilled. Currently my unbill is, so they didn't update it. So there, yeah. So anywho, they'll tell me how much I use if I call them, but I don't really want to call them and be like, yeah, how much did I spend though? Yeah, so I'm always looking at that option right now. So anyways, so basically, like I said, the American people need to realize that there's people out there that want you to suffer. They want you to suffer. They want to sit there and be like, oh yeah, I own the libs, whoop whoop. And all of a sudden, what are they doing? They're sitting there going, oh my God, what did I do? My Medicaid's because I have someone's like, oh, I don't care about Medicaid. I got too much money, do. I got too much money, do. I'm richer than you, do. Those are the ones that God's going to sit there and be like, did you earn it? Oh, yes, I did. Did you, I mean, let me put it this way. There's people out there. I knew a lady who turned around and her father inherited money, right, from the death of his parents. He didn't do nothing. He did this and did that, lived off it. So he's still wealthy. Thing is, but he claimed he was entitled to his parents' money, right? There's people, well, I'm the offspring of blah, 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 and I'm entitled. That's the problem in this world. You ain't entitled to jack. I'm sitting here giving you free advice, people. Do you sit there and think, oh, well, I mean, are you prepped? Are you ready to go? Are you going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, so it was Joe Bob, Mike Bob, and Ted Bob, and Mark Bob, and Crap Bob, and Katie Bob, and all these people, right? All armed to the teeth. We understand there's someone that's got 20,000 tons of food in their bunker. We're just going to kill the person and take their food because we're effing entitled and they're a craphead. So these people turn around and they think, we're entitled. We're going to take them, take their life, because apparently, quote unquote, this is their own opinions, that the other person who did the hard work isn't entitled to live life while they prepped and prepped and prepped. You guys think we'll just kill a few people, take their food, we're good. Is that how life works nowadays? I mean, literally. I mean, think about it. There's people out there that do all the work and they get crapped on. They do all the work, they get crapped on. And then the American people say, I don't. Yeah, American people go, what is the moral about it, huh? It's like a friend of mine who makes games. People love their game. 10 plus years. All of a sudden, oh, the game is too woke. Well, if it's too woke now and you realize too woke, then he's already happy you gave him his money for buying his game over the years. So if you don't like it, you don't have to play it anymore. You can just, I mean, literally, what is wrong with these people? Are too woke? There's too many people in this world that are pissed. I mean, look at, I heard of someone today, right? Someone today said, and I'm going to reiterate this again. Someone said today, it's better for, now Moppy, did Chloe and I decide what's for dinner tonight, or did I even discuss it? That's not important. So someone said to me today, again, younger generation said, all the elderly, they're a burden. We should just round them up, turn them into crackers. Soil and green. All these people that sit there and they're freeloading off of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Again, we should get rid of them. They're the burden to society. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't have these people telling us that their religion is the right religion and we're wrong. Really, isn't that interesting to hear from people say that the disabled are a burden, the elderly are a burden, people that the people I hear, oh, I'm entitled because I'm disabled. These are the people that turn around and they want off big time. I've heard it every time in my inbox. I mean, a friend of mine in Texas turned around and said, hey, I'm disabled, yet they want me dead. Isn't that amazing? The newer generation wants you dead. You're a burden to society. You're a fleshy skin, a fleshy cancer on someone's ass, and they want it cut out so they don't have to pay. There'd be more money in their pockets because apparently, in their opinion, taxes are too high. And yet, we're going to probably see Iran go up like a Christmas tree. Yeah. What happens? What happens? When Iran basically gets nuked. Huh? What are you going to do? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Yeah. I'll tell you what happens. The American people will see that when it happens, stock market will go down. Think about it. They're going to sit there, right? They want to tactical nuke Iran. So they can tactical nuke all around what they can. And they say, oh, well, we were supporting on protecting our allies. Really, what allies? Our allies, like Germany, is literally going to England and France and going, hey, could you help us build or sell us some nukes? And they're like, yeah, we'll build more nukes and sell them to you. Hypothetically, that's what I heard, right? So you got Europe getting ready to basically polarify and violate the superpower treaty by having like only 7 countries with nukes going higher. Meanwhile, you got Japan turning around and going, hey, we could use some nukes too because China. And they're like, nah, you're okay. But the thing is, you drop nukes in Iran, what happens? Stock market tanks. Flat outright tanks. You wake up in the morning, you're going to see so much panic, right? Here's what happens to dropping a nuke. Multiple problems. 1, you wake up. Nukes have been used in Iran. Millions dead. Russia says you do that, we're countering firing, right? It's a global nuke. All of a sudden, Russia gets and attacks us. We fire back. Now that's partisan. India decides, oh, well, we don't need Pakistan, and Pakistan says we don't need India. China goes, oh, well, while we're at it, why don't we just do this and this and this? We'll take Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Myanmar, Thailand, all the Asian peninsula. We'll use clean tactical nukes. Well, the best person wins, right? Meanwhile, the radioactive is spreading around the globe. I'm not safe, you're not safe. Not one of you are safe. Only one's safe are bunkers, if it happened. But guess what? What then? You gonna sit there and hope you get a T-60's power suit armor that apparently is only good for some radiation protective? It's Fallout 3 joke. Think about it. Think about it, people. Yeah. I mean, then, with the stock market crashing, your money's useless. The entire banking system's useless. Your Social Security's useless. Your Medicare's useless. Your Medicaid's useless. You know, your Social Security and Medicaid's useless, and Medicare. Nukes already been fired. Let's just say that if countries didn't counterattack and fire back at us in retaliation, protecting your allies, what happens? International sanctions, we'd be wiped out the map. We would be sitting there, your Social Security would be gone. Your Medicare would be gone. Senate, Congress's paychecks would be gone. You'd have a guy being like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm a ruler, I rule out, look at me, look at me. This is why I keep telling you that the Democrats have a good chance taking back the House and Senate. This is why they could do this. They could basically do this to cripple the world. Saying, look, the world's too woke. I mean, literally, you read your Quran. You read a Quran, it says, the only one that gives salvation is Allah. You read the Jehovah Witness, the only one that has salvation is pretty much Jehovah. You read the other Bibles, Jesus died for your sins. Now, there's a lot of people out there, and I'm going to be very blunt with you people, whether you're Catholic Christians, Mormon Christians, Jehovah Witness Christians, any Christians. I'm going to say something to all of you. In this book, God, Allah, Jehovah, Elohim, Yahweh, He rules. He doesn't have a son. Salvation is following this. If you're gay, it doesn't say anything about gay in here. If you're lesbian, it doesn't say anything about lesbian. It talks about being honest and straightforward. How many Muslims out there are honest and straightforward? 99% of them. The ones that aren't are the wealthy kings and queens that rule the oil tycoons. Now you can sit there and say, okay, what about the Bible? I'm getting to that. This believes, Old Testament believes, and the old laws, all the oral laws, believes that Jesus hasn't come yet. The New Testament, Jesus came, died on a cross, or as the Jehovah Witnesses call it, a torture stake. Now you could sit there and say, okay, that makes sense, so what's the point? The point is this. A true Christian wouldn't sit there and say, you're going to hell because you're gay or lesbian. It doesn't say it anywhere in the Bible. The Bible states it under Romans when they were talking to the Roman people. He was talking to the Roman people. He was saying, did you realize, if people don't realize this, the alleged rumors that Nero married his own horse, and he played the fiddle while Rome burned because he burned half of Rome down and wanted to torture and blame the Christians. Now, think about this. People sit there. Now, I could go through scripture after scripture after scripture, but it's not my job to tell you, right? Your job is to sit there and say, well, I'm a Republican Christian and my tax dollars shouldn't be paying for you. The difference is Jesus wasn't a Republican. Jesus was a guy that gave free health care. People were sick, he healed them with his magic through God. God's power that he gave Jesus. Yeah, power of prayer and healing. He gave food to people, fishes. You guys paint him as a Republican who carries a gun and says, my breads and fishes should not be paying for you. My health care shouldn't be paying. Are you here illegally? Jesus wasn't illegal. But we're not here to testify about Jesus. We're here to say, if you truly believe in Jesus, then you basically are on the bigot train, because I've read this time and time again. Now this book is interesting, yes, but you got to ask yourself. The Jehovah Witness has their own thing. The Book of Mormon has their own thing. Mormonism is, there was black people that turned white because they were pure, and white people that were unpure that turned black by the Nephites and Lamanites. If you believe that kind of stuff, feel free to believe it. Me, I'll tell you. The reason there's too many people out there that can't see 20/20 vision is because a lot of Americans out there, they want to say they're Christian. And then they say, oh yeah, we need to nuke the Iranians. We need to nuke the Muslims. What do the Muslims do to you, huh? Muslims live their own life. Praise Allah for them. Allah praises them because Allah says, look, they're not causing trouble. You turn around and you say, oh, well, we're going to... The reason I said that they may nuke Iran is to control the elections. So you go and they say, you walk out of your house and there's 25,000 guards with guns going back in your house, people. There's nothing to say here. Meanwhile, you're looking around and you're going, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for a guy to nuke Iran, turn around and send military in every town in America and tell us, back in your house. Under martial law, they can basically drag anyone out they want. They can sit there and say, oh, Ted, Rita, Chloe, Joe Bob, Mark Bob, Katie Bob, and Jocko, and all these other people, you're going into camp. And next thing you know, there's nothing left. Think about it. The thing is the American people need to realize that we're not going to get out of this at all. Nuclear war could happen. Nuclear weapons could be used. But you guys send me messages, hey, what do I need to do to prep for it? First of all, you hold food back. You don't sit there, you hold food back, but you also rotate. I just rotated my food stock, okay? I told Chloe I'd be happy with a box of mashed potatoes, some gravy, with some corn and green beans. Throw it all together and you got a Rita's Famous Bowl. You don't have any chicken, but see? Fortunately, many people in the world, they don't care. They only think about, oh, well, look at me. Oh, that reminds me. I need to check my ferry schedule thing while I'm talking to you guys real quick. Make sure I have all my reservations lined up. Because apparently there's people out there. I mean, look. There's one thing I remember talking to Zoe about many times over, my friends. And Zoe said, when it comes to prepping, I knew what I was talking about, and I still do. Thing is, you guys sit there and you can sit there and be, oh yeah, this guy's great. He's got 20 million subscribers. He's giving me a generator. You do know you got to pay for the generator if you win it. You got to either pay the shipping or the sales tax. Nothing is free. Oh yeah, it's free. I need one. Then go take your $300,000 inheritance and go buy generators. Just go willy-nilly buy. Oh, I can't because I got to live on it. Really? You got to live on it. So right now, if the banking system collapsed tomorrow morning, if a nuke went off in Iran and all the banks are frozen, what would you eat? You got your food. Would you be praying? Oh, dear God, don't let my state get nuked because I need my money. Think about it. God's not a vending machine. He's not going to sit there and go, oh, Joe Bob, Mark Bob, Ted Bob, Kate Bob, and Crack Bob just wants me to not let his state be nuked because apparently they need money. And so the world basically turns around, and the world comes around. Okay, so here's my reservation. Alright, so the world comes around. Yeah, so do I have all the reservations made? Yeah, looks like I do. Oh, yeah, didn't I say it was like November 1st or something? I'll have to call. Anyways, I'll check into that later. So, when you sit there, and you sit there, and you sit there, and you say, oh, well, the world's great, and I don't need this, really, you don't need this? Think about it. Do you really think you're going to be protected? I mean, honestly, are you prepped? Are you guys actually prepped? I mean, I think about this every day. I sit there. We're this close to the election. We're like, what, under 70 days to the election. Oh, we're going to take it. It's going to be a massive red tsunami. Whoop, whoop, yeah, I'm not. But then the jackasses that think that don't think. This is why you come to a puny little channel like mine. You look at the numbers and say, okay, media is talking about nukes. If he does it, civil war could erupt in this country, or World War III, or martial law. Then what happens when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I ran out of toilet paper, I didn't get it, I didn't hear the colonel's warning. A lot of people think I'm a crackpot, but guess what? I'd rather be called a crackpot and be prepped than have these millions of subscribers turn around and say, oh yeah, look at the doom and gloom, look at the doom and gloom. I'd rather talk about my gaming. But I can't game because guess what? The media outlet is posting, quote unquote, we are going to be nuked. I can be gaming right now, people. I mean, literally, I can be gaming. Let me tell you, I already have enough fight in me for other issues right now. Which, yeah. So let me put it to you this way. We are literally living in a time where you better be prepped, ready to go. And I'm talking about being prepped and ready to go. The American people don't realize that you don't just sit there and be like, oh yeah, look at me, I got my 20 bananas, I'm good. Really? So you're going to live on oatmeal and bananas, and then when the whole crap hits fan, I mean, think about it. What happens if you wake up one morning he's got a cute little face. What if you wake up one morning and you see the headlines? Iran gets hit by nukes. Iran gets hit by nuclear weapons. And all of a sudden you go in and they're like, we're sorry, your bank's closed. And you're like, but I have money in it. We're sorry, you can't do it. Oh, we're sorry, under the government, we have to keep everything closed. Then your miserable, puny $200, $300, $400, $800, $1 million, $8 million. People can't get to it. And then you're saying, oh, I can't get to my money. Not my problem. You didn't listen to me. You see, all these things can come into world economic shortages. I mean, literally, you sit there and you think, I mean, if Iran got attacked tomorrow morning, the stock market would tank and everything would reset. Your supposed fiat money that you worship is worthless. I'd be sitting there going, well, at least I got canned green beans. What do you, oh my God, oh, this is expired 4 years. Well, eat it. You basically are the one that basically hoarded it, so you better eat that 4-year-old expired. I mean, look, I had crackers that was expired like 3 months. You know what I mean? Little box of saltines. I was like, why waste it? Still got salt in it. And I don't have the run, so. Point is, this is what prepping's about. You don't sit there and be like, oh, I don't have enough food. Thing is why don't you have enough food? Well, let's see, you jack-offs turned around and you thought nothing was going to happen. And then when it does happen, you didn't take into account martial law or a civil war or banking collapse. I mean, everything can happen for a reason. But you guys don't believe it. You believe in, oh, it's not going to happen, really. Let me put it this way, okay? I've said it time and time again, alright? Do I support the Democrats? Negative. Do I support the Republicans? Negative. Do I support the Independents? Negative. But all roads go to, we are screwed, okay? A lot of people say, oh, well, we're like screwed by Canada. We have to defend ourselves. Are we really being screwed by Canada? Are we? Are we literally being screwed by Canada? Negative. Canada said we keep asking for more concessions. I'm sorry, but I would be like, border closed, we're not letting anyone in. Plain and simple. Heck, I got a friend who's my father-in-law's friend. I call girlfriend. She's got dual citizenship. She's American and Canadian. She's in her home in Canada. And she says, the United States is effed up. Think about it. Canadians want the border closed. They don't want Americans coming in. They want the Canadian Navy to patrol the areas where the waterways is from like Bellingham to Vancouver. It's like, waterways closed. You cannot go through our waterways. And people are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Think about it. The Canadians, every time you turn around, it's like, I mean, look, you want to sit there and people go, well, Colonel, I can't afford a computer for my kid. Can you explain why? Yeah. So basically, everyone is dumping their money into the techno stocks, technology stocks, right? AMD, Intel, mostly Intel, AMD, RAM, all these things. So they're trying to basically build these big data centers, and then they turn around and tell you, we're sorry, your computer can't work anymore because you have to have a subscription. That's why a lot of people are looking at Linux. And then when Linux runs the whole world, they'll be like, oh, we didn't think about Linux, boss. I mean, literally, Apple doesn't want a subscription, but when you see Microsoft does a lot of crap, people. Now, a lot of people say, well, how come price goes up? Well, you can blame it on the people. You see, you hear these Republicans, and they're like, oh, yeah, look what Biden said. Biden says, allegedly, you're going to have nothing to be happy. This is the Republicans. They gutted your health care. Oh, my stepbrother, oh, I got my health care. They're not going to take my health care. I'm too disabled. Really? I'm disabled, too. I just got a notice. And this is why I always tell people a big F you if you want to sit there and argue about medications. They've gutted about 95% of the prescription drug coverage. And so unless you have a medical plan that connects to it, I keep telling people, I don't even meet 60-year threshold. When you're 60-year-old, they're like, hurry up and die. We want you dead. We want you dead so we don't have to pay for you anymore. Hurry up and die. Yeah, that's what's going on in the world. Literally, the younger generation doesn't want to take care of Uncle Bob, Uncle Mark, Uncle Ted, Uncle Katie, Uncle Frederick. They don't want to take care of anyone. They're like, and yet the world turns around and tells me the same thing. I'm a burden. Old bags over there is a burden. That one's a burden. Drug pot McGee crackhead's a burden. Frickin' pot stink upstairs is a burden. Drug crap 3 doors over there is a burden, and this one's a burden, and that one's a burden, and America's a burden, and everyone's a burden. Think about it. We're all burdens, apparently, federal subsidized housing, and yet, I'm here to tell you, have you prepped yet? Are you prepping? Or are you standing there going, well, nothing's gonna happen. I mean, look, am I the only one that gets the emails that people say, hey, I looked over and ran the numbers. If he drops a nuke in Iran, we're screwed. Your prepping videos are making a hit in some places. Most people are like, oh, you need to prep because this is going to happen. And then you have these dillwads say, oh, your channel sucks because you got to listen to the real preppers. Really? You want to believe a guy up north, a CP who claims, though, oh, I got the intel, we're all dying tomorrow, we're going to all die tomorrow? Been saying that for 4 damn years. Yeah, and yet, I watch videos and I see what's happening. There's people out there that they sit there right now and they, about 2/3 of the country that voted for President Donald J. Trump, President Trump, regret their vote. Literally. They're deporting the wrong people. They're cutting our food stamps. They're funneling, apparently, allegedly, the oligarchs. Your money's going to be stripped to pay for them. And then you hear people, oh, well, the trickle-down economy works. Really? Why don't we trickle down all your money that you got as an inheritance, and we'll just trickle it down to everyone else and see if it works. You see, point is, these dipshits turn around and they have negative clue what the fuck they're talking about. Their head so far up their ass, they could try to basically get it out, but they can't. Thing is, when people see my channel, they're like, I like the unaltered, unedited, unfiltered. They even like when they're like, hey, I got one guy goes, I love when you go, hey, hold on, gotta go tinkle. That gives me a chance to go fill the coffee cup up, because I know the Colonel's not done with her rant. She could be gaming right now, but she's making a point. She's giving us our time freely. And one guy says we should be in this economy giving back to you, because you're sitting there with less than 800 subscribers. I saw a lady the other day. She's like, "Oh yeah, people are gonna hate me. I should be having like 800,000 subscribers." But last time. But anyways, I can't stand blah 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 game anymore. His game is woke, too woke, too woke. People are like, "We're unsubscribing." She has less than a little over 800. She's like panicking, right? "Well, I'm sorry, I speak my mind, and you're taking away my ability." Well, guess what? Thing is, you want to claim a game's woke, then don't play it. All right, you played it for 10 years, and all of a sudden you're bailing. Not my problem. You already paid the guy, so guy got his money out of you 10 years worth. I still play it because I love it. But guess what? You turn around and you want to play a different game, and you're like, "Oh, this game is so good." Really? And it's so customizable and blah, 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 blah. It's like, really? One guy said he took 125 hours to complete it. I watched last night just to see. I have it, but I haven't tried it yet. Why? Because I'm stuck doing YouTube videos for you, the viewers, realizing that we have a problem in this country. And this country's problem is we may get nuked. And when we get nuked, we're going to basically be problematic. Or we nuke Iran, we're going to be screwed over. Alright, so what is this time? Let me check my news feed real quick. Let me see here. Let's look this up. So, apparently here's what happens, okay? The the Iranian Republican Guard, the IGRC, right, claims by Trump administration waterway is open. Iran says, as of right now, here's the deal. The deal is a decisive control over the Straits of Hormuz, stating the waterway is completely closed to any ship that attempts to transit without direct coordinates or gives a fee or tariff. This comes alongside additional strategic warning that the Iranian Republican Guard intelligence stated that the Islamic Republic has moved past a merely reactive military posture and is actually seeking to shape the timing, location, and the costs of future conflict. There you go. It's a war you can't win. My brother, "Oh, we're going to win. We're going to keep out Tehran from not getting a nuke." Really? Did you see the news, Ted? Ted, the news is Russia's willing to sell Iran nukes to defend themselves. Guess what? In my opinion, you get two choices. You either support Russia selling Iran nukes to defend themselves against the United States, or you reject it and you think that only the United States should have nukes. Or that. I mean, look, America, we're the only ones that used nukes. We shouldn't be threatening to use nukes again. But this is where we're at in this juncture. Now, retaliation over economic warning. The warning also followed a string of statements from Iranian top security officials threatening that any neighborhood or foreign nation participating in the U.S. new Operation Economic Outcast Sanctions campaign will be treated as an enemy and an enemy as the state and face direct targeting of their commercial and oil interests. So, Iran's not fucking around, people. This is a Middle East thing, okay? Two reasons I want to say Iran's not fucking around, alright? And I'm going to say this for my channel. Current diplomatic standoff. It says here, negotiations say U.S. not looking to meet with Iranian. They just saying, "Oh, we own the strait." Really? I say keep the straits closed because I don't give two fucking shits if fucking my stepbrother Teddo's gas goes up to $50 a gallon. I don't really give a shit. The point is, "Oh, well, it's going to affect you." Well, guess what? At least the taxi service uses all fucking electric. And if everyone has to go out and buy all electric cars, then they'd be fucking fighting. The future of oils are only being fighted for, A, the military that needs it for jet fuel, carriers that run fuel. I mean, did you know the HMS Queen Elizabeth and the Prince of Wales, the second ship, they should change a new one anyways. Apparently, those vessels, and you can sit there and say, "Oh, well, those vessels are not nuclear." apparently the only nuclear weapons I believe England has, or UK, is freaking nuclear. Otherwise, the carriers run on fuel propulsion. Yeah, think about it. Even the Queen and King's, the old Royal Britannic runs on diesel. Oh wow, that's amazing, right? So if you know, most of the ships of the world have a problem. You build nuclear, as England found out, you got to dispose of the uranium rods. England goes to, oh yeah, America, we got uranium rods. All right, well, girl, put it in our new facility in Detroit, hypothetically. And also in English, they have new cement rods in Detroit, see? Point is, we get it all right now. Hanford does. So when I hear, Hanford's getting all the waste, okay? So, let's go over to this. This article here. I need to refill my coffee, tinkle. And I want to see this. And we're going to talk about news. So here we go. This is coming from Al Jazeera. Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, says it retained decisive control over the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. officials continue to lie, and they're claiming they're lying to manipulate the stock markets. Wow, so apparently people that have stocks, like my stepbrother and my father-in-law, would rather have the people lie to keep their stocks going up so they can get richer. So they'd rather have the Straits of Hormuz lied so they could get richer. Think about it. This is why a lot of these people will probably end up in hell. I'm just going to say it. I'm probably going to go there too, but at least I can say with a certainty, this is what's going on in the damn world. Straits of Hormuz is demined and safe. Intel from all of European NATO allies say it isn't safe. Donny Boy, or President Donny Boy, has lied. Yes, so. Alright, so apparently they're talking about the school that got blown up. So apparently exports and imports decreased. Yeah, so anyways, this is all a crap, so I don't want to hear my stepbrother, oh, well, we're winning, woo, woo. We're not winning anything. It's just getting harder. So it's basically, it's more of a, right here, the stock market is tanking, going to start tanking. Now, what's it says by this is by CBS News. Thursday, Iran is managing to make a deal. Negative. I just looked at the intel from several newspapers. The Age from Australia. Oh, you can't trust that, right? You can't trust that. The Age says there's not going to be a deal anytime soon. The English newspapers. The Chinese has one that's in English that you can read free. They all say America is a lying sack of shit. Pressure and talks between two countries remain stalled 6 months into the war. Wow. Just said the war would last 6 weeks, but now it will take as long as necessary. See, look at this. Why don't we just drain everyone who's a Republican's bank account and fund the war in Hormuz? Yeah, because apparently these people would rather basically invest their money that they can have confiscated to fund the Iranian war. This is a different thing. You see, when they do the Iranian war, it wasn't about fuel and oil. It was about other issues at stake, and not nuclear either. But let's continue. U.S. Central Command Admiral Brad Cooper has echoed the president saying Strait of Hormuz is clear of sea mines, saying it's open and momentum is building. Really? Last time I heard, the Straits of Hormuz is closed, and you guys are going to see your oil go through the roof. And by the way, how's our fertilizer price? I've talked to a couple family members that own farms in Iowa. They've had to pay just to keep afloat of water, just so they could get their fertilizer, about $30,000 in fertilizer. I got family in Kentucky that owns a huge farm there. It's costed them about $90,000 for fertilizer. So what's that tell you, people? Just to make ends meet, to basically feed you, the American people, they got to pay more for fertilizer. What's next? He's going to make a deal and import all the fruits and vegetables into the country, screwing over our farmers yet again? But we won't continue that. Some U.S. allies reported to completely doubt the assertion, however, regardless of Iran's threat to commercial vessels keeping transit to a fraction of to their pre-war levels. Well then, President Trump, if you're listening to this, you should basically get off your ass and build a pipeline from part of Saudi Arabia and basically avoid the Straits of Hormuz. You can pump oil a different way and still bring it out without needing the Straits. That's a good way if you want to save face and isolate the Iranians, if you want. Asked Thursday if the U.S. would impose sanctions on Chinese banks that cooperate with Iran, the analyst said it's crucial to make the economic warfare target against Iran successful. Did not have to announce everything. Really? That's funny because right now they're talking on 3 different channels how we're going to use tactical nukes in Iran. Because apparently we can't let Iran get a nuclear weapon. All they have to do is China said, oh, we'll sell you some. Russia said, oh, we'll do the same. North Korea says, you supply us oil, we'll supply you with nukes. Wow, I think that's a good idea, right? I mean, I'm being a smart ass here, but you get the idea. So while you guys are sitting there going, oh, well, you know, I'm a Republican, all is gravy, everything's great. Really. So let's see what happens here. So Iran's only open to diplomacy as long as they're not having the U.S. or the U.S.'s allies, which there's not many left apparently, be a bully stick for Iran. Iran wants what they want. So right here, top Democrat on the armed service, Jack Reed, a Democrat armed service, says we've not met any objectives. So what are they doing? They're thinking about nuking Iran. How many Americans out there would like to see Iran nuked? Well, let's see. 90 million people could be wiped out because apparently that's 90 million less Muslims. What's next? You can go target every other Muslim country because you don't like their doctrine? I mean, literally, how many Americans out there sit there and say, oh, we need to kill them all? A lot. That's not Christianity. That's just a secret inbred murderer that just wants to murder people. Yeah. 84, second U.S. military again, consistent critic of a war. Well, at least someone in the U.S. Airborne saying that. My dad wasn't airborne. U.S. has set limits on Egyptian bank in effort to pressure Iranian officials. Wow, so now we're trying to pressure another Muslim country like Iran. Egypt. That controls the pyramids in the Giza. Wow, what else we got here? So it says Russia and Iran made very good progress in gas transfer talks. So Russia is working a deal with Iran. China's going to do the same, North Korea, because they want fuel and the best course of action is to do what they need. Yeah. So Iran recommends, as this morning, that U.S. sanctions is economic terrorism. I mean, we can just continue to go down here. So apparently thousands of seafarers are trapped in the Straits of Hormuz. So the United States is sitting there tooting their horn of stuff that doesn't even exist, and yet all we hear right now is the United States is leaving the table. Let's actually Google that real quick. So it says here, by official stance, U.S. and Israel is denying it. But, you see, I have to basically post this anyways because you got to think, are they preparing for it? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so apparently, but apparently Russia and everything else, well, yeah, so. Yeah, so apparently right here it's stating this, right? So apparently whatever they're doing, they're secretly trying. You see, remember what I said, people. If they can, quote unquote, they'd use the nuclear tactic against Iran to circumvent the election. Plain and simple. They would literally turn around people and say, hey, they would turn around and say, hey, they would circumvent the elections and say, look, why should we do this? Why should we allow the Democrats to win the House and Senate? We're just going to drop a nuke Iran, declare martial law, close elections up, and there, we've saved it. But at the same time, he declares martial law, Congress is null and void. So what do you get? You got a guy that's worried. I mean, the Supreme Court and the courts legally issued a order the other day. My stepbrother, oh, well, we're not going to do it. Really. Courts ruled yesterday that the Epstein files have to be released, all unredacted. Guess what? Apparently, they're like, not going to happen, not going to happen, not going to happen, not going to happen, not going to happen. Sorry, I had to do that. If it bothers anyone that I put my finger in my nose temporarily to do that, sorry. Americans are literally watching a country literally try to strip away the wealth of the Americans one way or another. And if they cannot nuke Iran, they can sit there and say national emergency, everything's closed. And that means your bank accounts are closed. Everything is literally fair game because they just found a way to shut down the elections. This is what I've been telling you. This is why I say, have you prepped? Or are you just sitting there with your thumb on your butt going, oh, well, we'll never do that, really. So when it happens one morning and I check my email before we get wiped out or the world basically turns around and closes us up and decides they're ready to basically launch. I mean, look, if the entire world decided to do a World War III, pull all their troops together, including Russia, North Korea on board, Iran, and they started marching into the U.S., and the president goes, oh, well, I'm just going to fire nukes here, nukes there, and build more nukes and do this and do that, then what? And then South America goes, oh, well, we're just going to march in as well, waddle in, and we're going to literally put a flag on, a NATO flag, and be done with it. I mean, look, we're basically going down the toilet. A lot of people said to me during the Biden era, like moderator Pee Wee, we're going to be a third world country. Then we're not now? How? How's that working for us all? I mean, literally. I mean, with the way the things are going down the toilet, has anything benefited you? Oh, yeah. So apparently, some things have benefited others. People have died and left money to others. Wow, that's amazing. You got money. And then you're like, oh, the stock market affects me because I got money in it. I don't care. Thing is, the stock market shouldn't have been invented. And then people would have been peasants. But everyone worships that thing called mammon, a.k.a. money. And then we're all screwed. Yeah, think about it. And then I hear people say, oh, well, will it really happen? Well, unfortunately, I love all of you, so I'm not going to lie. It could happen. I cannot, on good conscience, sit there and say, negative, this is not going to happen. I mean, literally, I hear enough politics as is, but what's going to happen to the world? What's going to happen to the world when you guys turn around and you see it happen? I mean, there's only a few cards they can play. I mean, look, Republicans that are still loyal to President Trump are furious that the Supreme Court just blocked their beautiful presidential thingy. What's the president going to do? He can sit there and say, well, so we can't delay mail-in ballots, right? You can mail the ballots to people. The people can take their ballots, fill them out, waddle over, I gotta use the can in a second. Waddle over to, sorry, lost my thought for a second. They could turn around and literally say, okay, we got our ballots, and they could say, well, we're not returning them. Or they could sit there and say, well, we have 150 million pieces of ballot we're not mailing to people, right? And people sit there and say, oh, well, and the president goes, ow, I confiscated it all. You won't let me get my way this way, I'll do it that way. All you got to do is waddle into the damn office and go, hey, my ballot's missing. Can I fill it out right here and have you basically stamp it today? Washington's got early voting, by the way. I found out yesterday. I could walk in there on a certain day, Okay, Colonel, all done. Good luck. And I mean, literally, this is our biggest election in history. Either you vote for Democrats, you vote Republican. There's one or the other. And a lot of these Republicans are turning around and they're literally looking at, oh yeah, I gotta go Costco real quick. Or not Costco, Walmart. Because I'm not done. And I'm gonna use the computer there for a second. Okay, so currently my Walmart order just went up about $55 from yesterday. Coffee, macaroni and cheeses, I got what, 12? Whoa! Look at this. So apparently macaroni and cheese went up from $7 to $33. I'm not paying that kind of cash. That goes away. Anything that is bigger than that, I'm not buying. If it's not a 12-pack, I save money. Okay, see, there you go. Everything has gone up yet again. Look at this. This one is, yeah, see? I just saved another 60. So my bill went down to 130 because all these items, think about it. The price of food's going up yet again because people are like, well, we didn't vote for this. I guess you did, because apparently you voted for the war in Ukraine to continue. And Ukraine and Russia. Russia's got some problem. Russia sends. Anyways, the bottom line is we import a lot of our wheat. So a lot of foods are made with wheat, like ramen, etc. Even Italy's raised their price on wheat for America. Wheat and other things like rye for their noodles. You sit there and say, we're talking about noodles, or we're talking about, Colonel? Talking about spaghetti noodles, shell noodles, manicotti noodles. I mean, literally, some places like Amazon get a deal for the cheapest wheat possible to make the cheapest macaroni and cheese, and then they come up with a cheap formula of cheese like their Amazon basic macaroni and cheese. We'll be talking about that in a second. And they say, oh, well, that's not a bad deal. It is a bad deal if you got to pay the damn price. Price is, are you willing to pay $1.50, or are you willing to pay $3? When Amazon sits there and hooks you in and says, oh, you got 10 boxes of that, now we're just going to raise it by $1.50 to $3. Enjoy your higher tariffs on our mac and cheese. I mean, look at this. Toilet paper is hurting. Right now, toilet paper went down because they're like, the toilet paper company knows we're going to have a shortage. So let me get my coffee and tinkle. The bottom line is, are you prepped? If you're not prepped, you better be prepping. Okay, I'm back, peeps. So let me talk about the art of supply and demand. All right. Thanks for waiting, peeps. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you that tuned in today. So what's that tell you about the American people? A lot of them don't give a damn. Frankly, people say, oh, well, Colonel, you don't care. I don't care about freeloader mooches, entitled son of a bitches, or people that don't listen. People that do listen to email me, you're great people. You sit there and you tell me, hey, your topic was heartwarming. I'm starting to prep a lot harder. Most of these people, oh, it won't happen really. So one morning you wake up and the northern areas, electricity is shut off because Canada's pissed. What are you going to do, huh? Oh, we're going to war. We're going to invade Canada because they took our electricity. Really? You got all these dams. We could just basically spend 6 months to a year. We can wire in other states. And then other states can basically wire in new dams. And eventually, everyone in the entire country would have electricity where you wouldn't have to rely on another country. Think about it. But, apparently these people think, oh, if we just take and make Canada 51st state, it's going to be gravy. But it's not going to be gravy. It's going to be hell on 2 legs. Yeah, think about it. You wake up in the morning and all you're doing is, are you prepped for potassium iodine tablets or are you not? Yeah, think about it. Yeah, think about it. Are you truly prepared? Yeah. Yeah, think about it. What is that? It's okay, Mom. It's just a vacuum, son. It's a vacuum, son. She's using the shop vac. Yeah, so I looked and I was like, what the heck is that sound? Turns out it's a vacuum cleaner. Alright, so if you buy your potassium iodide tablets, you should be fine, just in case. But a lot of you people turn around, you're like, literally, are you truly prepped? Yeah, are you truly prepped? Yeah, let's see what the reviews say. I've always wanted to see the...
Your treadmill's good to go.
So basically, as Chloe said once before, it's better to be prepped than not prepped for these potassium iodide tablets. We have stacks of them, but we always rotate and buy more. It's always good to have them on hand. Now, a lot of you preppers out there have said time and time again, can you tell us about the preppers list? Okay, so the preppers list is easy peasy, alright? You go up to my About Me page under More, and you'll go down to About Me page. We're talking about Instagram, Twitter, donation page. We have 3 preppers lists. Okay, you got the bare bone preppers list. You have the basic preppers list. And then you have the basically truly preppers list. And everyone asks about the solar generator list. Now, I recommend the Jackery version 2.0s, alright? But here's what the basic prepper list contains. The bare bone essentials. And I keep telling you guys this, but literally, a lot of people out there like to waste money on other garbage. So let's just continue. So, 1, Nido fortification milk. As you can see, it's not available to add to cart. Red Cow, one of the best milks out there. Zoe picked it up for me to try. Anchor is another one I highly recommend. Always keep powdered milk. I'm thinking of buying some this month because I do not like running out of powdered milk. Secondly on the list, can also check on it. I got to check Costco for powdered milk. Anyways, because apparently I want to make sure we have powdered milk. Now, Chloe, of course, she was like this earlier. Oh, what do you want for dinner? Yeah, like I remember. I can't remember what I wanted for dinner.
You want meatball subs? If you want tonight, I can make it for you.
Well, we were going to see if we have hamburger tomorrow, people. So technically, I was just thinking about waiting till tomorrow. I also got to do something special. Payday's around the corner, so I need to take out. I have 3 blocks left. I'm going to take out a rib roast and prep it so I can have rib roast soon. But we're not here to talk about rib roast. We're here about basic. Second basic prep. Oh, is this the basic preppers list? Okay, basic. Oh yeah, the bare bone is this one. Bare bone is you can spend $80 and get yourself $80 minimum. You can spend $80 minimum for a digital or an analog radioactive detector. That'll tell you if you have radiation around. It's highly recommended, so you don't sit there. Potassium iodide tablets are fine. Next on the list, if you can see right here on the preppers list, because it has been updated, a lot of water has been sold out. I keep telling you this all the time. Always stockpile extra water. And don't be a weasel when it comes to you. Bring in the water, you bring in the water. I mean, literally, you bring in the water, you'll be fine. You got Fuji waters available. Apparently on the bare bone, Fuji's the only one. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, what about the Armor's Tritos? First of all, Armor meats are sold out. Spam Light is sold out. The thing is, you can get Spam roasted turkey, but of course there's people in this household that doesn't like Spam turkey. I prefer Spam bacon myself, but you gotta ask yourself, how much Spam bacon are you gonna eat when it comes to that much salt? Spam is a long-term shelf staple you can have. Spam Classic. Now, that is the bare bone minimum for prepping. Now, the basic preppers is a little bigger. You still got your cow milk, but this one has camping stoves. Now, you don't want to use a camping stove if you're literally sitting in a house that has, I mean, you can do it with the window open, but radioactivity, you want to open your canned foods, you don't need a canned stove. A camp stove is only for camping. A lot of people go, oh, well, what about, and then people have been asking me time and time again over the bare bone, or the basic preppers list. Oh, Chloe, I got too many times. Like me. A lot of people, let's see, I'm trying to do a video here and I don't need interruptions. Next is camping tents. A lot of people say, well, what's the tent for? That's if you have to bug out. Fortunately, if your house is demolished, your toast doesn't matter. But there's backpacks. People say, what's backpack? Bug outs only. Swiss Army knives. You can get some good Swiss Army knives. I highly recommend a couple. I need to buy a couple more. I find these to be good tools. I should just go buy some more. Sleeping bags. Again, sleeping bags are good. A lot of people have been asking me about sleeping bags. Sleeping bags are only used if you need extra warmth, alright? Milk powder. You can buy some generic crappy milk powder. I'd recommend Anchor Red Cow, okay? For foods. Now, this is going to be something that's going to be really interesting, okay? You have 2 options here. A lot of people have said to me, can you explain the macaroni and cheese theory on prepping? Yes, I can, actually. You see, a lot of people have asked me time and time again on the basic preppers list, what in the Sam heck do you use macaroni and cheese for? That simple answer is, you eat it. Unfortunately, if you don't have any cooking materials to cook with it, you can't cook with it. You need a cook stove, and then afterwards you turn around and you got to mix it up. You don't want to use a cook stove if you've been hit with nuclear. So your main priority would be Spam. I like the Spam bacon. The Danish full 1 pound canned, you can get 6 of them. They're kind of expensive. 6 meals. You got to remember, you got to share it with your family, of the canned Danish hams. Those little Danish hams are really good. They're already cooked, ready to go. Your peanuts, your cashews, those are extra protein. A lot of people say those are better. Just rotate them out. This one here is a bunny pellets. Sorry, we don't have bunnies. Then you have the other things. If you look at this here, you have long grain wild rice, brown rice, coffee sold out. Most of the water is basically out. A lot of people are looking at come to this preppers list and they message me, have you updated it? Have you seen it? Negative. This list literally states that what's wrong is it's all sold out. Hey Mop, what's up buddy? Beans, another thing. You can eat cold beans if you have to. I highly recommend stockpiling beans. I like spicy beans, mild beans, and red chili beans. They sell them. Everything else, baked beans ain't bad as long as you basically get a deal where you're not paying a whole bunch of different things. Dinty Moore, chicken and dumplings, those are good too if you can. Toilet paper, well, yeah, we won't go there. You should have it already on hand. First aid kits, again. A lot of people have asked about razors. You can get the disposable barber saws, those aren't bad. Shaving gel, not bad. Dish soap, sold out. Irish Spring, you always want to keep Irish Spring on hand just in case for bathing. Batteries, again, there's a whole bunch of different batteries there. You can choose batteries to plug your thing up. People say to me, well, maple syrup, for example, what's the maple syrup for? That is if you want to have maple syrup with pancakes. Fortunately, again, when we put the preppers list together 5+ years ago, we didn't take into account, sorry to say people, we didn't take into account that if something like this happened, you'd have to open cans of canned goods and eat canned goods without, now the sewing kit is perfect. Unfortunately, they sold out of that. A lot of people have asked about canned goods. A lot of canned chicken, a lot of canned turkey, a lot of canned tuna would be good as a rotation. Just make sure you can eat that in a can. I prefer chicken myself. Corned beef I've sampled many times over, not that tasty. Peanut butter is good, but you got to remember you're not going to be making a sandwich unless you have access to power to make bread. So that's the thing, you got to basically look at what you can do. Canned goods are more important than ever in prepping than peanut butter. My stepbrother would be arguing with me, but the problem is he doesn't realize unless you have bread to go with that peanut butter, you can only eat it off of a spoon. And then you better make sure you have enough water to rinse off the spoon, because you're going to be basically learning to limit and protect your water source. Now, antiperspirant and stuff, we're only halfway through this. There's the toothbrushes, there's things, some people ask about the smoker. Yeah, you can do that if you have outside, if it's an earthquake. See, a lot of these things are based on earthquakes, flash floods, etc. As Mama Pee-wee, not Mama Pee-wee, Sister Pee-wee once said, but it was, Mama/Sister Fanny said it once best herself. Fanny Urban Homesteader. Yeah, bless her heart. You guys know the story about her. She passed away. So, February. So anyways, the good old Mama Fanny, she was a sweetheart. We don't live forever. Police scanners, you can only use it as a battery. Stuff that you may need, like the striking log, the striking sticks with lanyards are only there to strike for fires. Garbage bags are always used. Again, as a prepper, you could use Hershey's syrup as long as you have the water to spare for your powdered milk. You don't want to make powdered milk unless you can, but remember, you don't. If it's a nuclear situation, you stay put and you wait for help, or at least you eat your supplies down and hope like heck you don't get sick, depending on where you're at and where the radiation's going. And I'll get to the rest, okay? Now you got beans here. You got like beans stacked up. Beans is a plus. You got canned water. That was like a fad. Okay, here we go. So one of the things I do like to talk about is short range and long range radios. I highly recommend spending some money and getting long range and short range batteries for a set. You'll basically be thanking me if you're on the road. Always carry a backpack for a traveler's list. Let me see. Is this the okay, that's the main preppers list. Alright, power stations are easy. These are also echo flows, but you gotta ask yourself how much you're willing to pay. This, my brother, oh, you're not the echo flow, it's the best one in the world. Sorry, dude, I like Jackery 2.0s. Longer batteries and easier to handle. And they come with a handle. Now, a lot of people believe in EcoFlow, but I just saw a guy who basically had EcoFlow plugger and an EcoFlow cooler. He had it plugged in. He rotated, right? He had like two of each. Literally, they caught on fire. And EcoFlow is going, oh, well, there's a problem there. And a guy got it in time. So he says, you want to basically burn down your house, go with EcoFlow. Otherwise, go with Jackery. And I find the Jackery version 2.0 to be the best. In my opinion, there's only two you want. The version 500, you can stack them. Now, you can get a decent Generation 1, but the Gen 1s have a 500 cycle battery cycle, so you drain it. Just me, I prefer the version 2. So the version 2, in my opinion, is the best, and I'm sticking with that one, alright? And so, anyway, so with that said, we're almost done here. Alright, I'm checking out my powdered milk again at Costco. Because apparently they sold out of at Walmart, the ones that I buy. Alright, so Costco has it. So just buy it. I'll buy a couple cans for emergency. Alright, so in the main prepping list here, the main prep list, okay, couple things people ask me about is the radios. Handheld radios could work if you don't have an EMP. Unfortunately, they are limited by distance, okay? Plain and simple. Cellular radios will be probably out because EMP or towers are down. But for the sake of it, a lot of people have asked about the non-battery powered water filters. Okay, like the water purifications that you get for purifying water. You can buy the water drop or the gravity fed ones for like $200-300. Unfortunately, the problem with those is, again, you'd have to have a water source. So if you knew there was a nuclear thing coming, your first thing would be to make sure your house is secure. You go into a safe area and you fill your water up in your tub. Wrap it with a tarp, put the plug on there, and throw some water filtration tablets in, purification tabs, as many as you need for the bathtub, and then you slowly transfer it over to your Royal Berkeley water purification, and that would help you with drinking water. But you got to remember also, you got to think about what will happen with the power of your thing. Now, a lot of people have asked me time and time again about the headphones. Well, noise canceling headphones come in handy if you want to zone out, but just got to remember your power banks are the ones charging your devices, so you'll be limited. So, for example, say you have a device and you need batteries. That's why you carry AA batteries. You don't carry rechargeables. You carry your long range, your short range, your world band radios. You keep them on hand and you listen that way. The police scanners may work as long as they're battery, but you got to remember, you better know how to tune it into the ham bands. Otherwise, you ain't gonna hear crap. Okay. Secondly, out there, a lot of people have been talking about like the dental stuff. The dental stuff is good. The thing is, you got to make sure that if you're prepping and you're in a basement or somewhat, that your pipes aren't getting radioactivity going in there. That's another thing. You have to make sure you check. That's why you need a tester. When you test, you should be fine with that completely and thoroughly, because think of it if you're brushing your teeth, right? My brother, I need my dental work done. Yeah, nuclear bomb goes off, saying Michigan, and it's all radioactive, and he's in the basement. Do you think he's going to sit there and be like, I better turn the water on? He's going to be thinking, I better use the mouthwash, but he also better be thinking about the drain, where it's going. If it's connecting to a sewage treatment plant, his area, his basement could be already radioactive because A, there's not lead, and B, he's not in a bunker, and C, things do travel through the pipes. Excuse me 1 second, I need to get you Tylenol. Alright, so that is one of the things. Hey bud, how you doing? Huh? This is my bud here. So a lot of people ask about coffee syrups. That's only if you want to basically have some flavors in your coffee, plain and simple. Now, goat's milk, if you want to pay for goat's milk, is good. Peanut butter, as I said, the bottom line is, unless you're prepping for a lot of groceries and stuff, the little carts and stuff, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, well, some of this stuff. See, when we put this together, it was a collaboration between my moderators and I. We thought of every calibration for prepping. This was mostly for prepping for earthquakes, flash floods, fires, tornadoes, hurricanes. Nuclear is a whole different story because you can't have everything you need for nuclear. So half this stuff would not be coming good for nuclear, just clutter in your home. So, like for example, for nuclear, again, I'm going to bring this up, beans. You could soak your beans in fresh bottled water, but you have to dispose of your water somehow. And if you pull it down a drain and your pipes are already infected, your apartment's radioactive too. Now, if it doesn't affect it, that's why you get a Geiger counter. Now, like I said, how are you going to cook those beans? You see, a lot of people say, how do you? Yeah, see, a lot of you preppers out there, I say get canned meats, canned meats, bottled water, Geiger counter. Things like Sister Pee-wee. She basically says like cat litter. Yeah, if you have a cat, you get cat litter. Stockpile that. Garbage bags. Yeah. You always keep garbage bags in hand, but if you know the area is radioactive, you hop out of up your stairs and go and basically take your trash out. Secondly, will there be even trash takeout? Now my stepbrother will be like, oh, well, there's no trash and there's no power and there's no this, then how are we getting anything done? Thing is, Ted's right for once. You see, if the basically power goes out and a nuclear EMP wipes out most of your technology, you're stuck with negative power running your house, negative power running your freezer's dead as a macaroni, your entire devices are dead, and you're sitting there with canned goods hoping that your house is not radioactive. Now, he's right. That means you have to limit your trash intake. That's the other thing. So eventually, you're either going to be inviting in cockroaches into your basement or your home, or you're going to see mice, rats, raccoons, and other animals start to go shift around looking for groceries because they're angry because, well, they found the jackpot of people disposing stuff because that's all they have. And we're only 1/4 through the way of this large prepping list. So, for example, a lot of people say with the flour. Well, you can make flour, you can make bread as long as you have sun, and you can let it sun dry. You can use the sun in other things, but for main bread at home, So, nuclear, the thing is, prepping, and there's two ways of prepping. Prepping one, you prep for all disasters minus nuclear, you're fine. Literally, you can get everything you need. You can have your bread pans for solar bread cooking, etc., etc. Now, if you have nuclear, well, that's all different. You want your water, you want your playing cards, you want your batteries, you want. I should make a nuclear prepared list for you guys and see about uploading it into Amazon, because that may explain more how to prep. Let me see if we got any comments. Probably don't, which is pretty good. Okay, we don't have any. So, when you do it, you have that. Those are the two choices you have. Are you prepping for nuclear, or are you prepping for all disasters? All disasters mean you can load up your prepper's kit for every junky thing you can think of. But for nuclear, you want your water, your potassium iodide tablets, your canned food, your radios, and you basically pray like hell nothing else happens and you get through it. Yeah. I mean, for example, again, Pastoroni. Hey, what's up, buddy? Come here. Oh, I love my doggy, 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 doggy. Look at him. You guys love him too? I love him. Oh, how's my little mini schnauzer? Make sure he's taking care of nuclear prepping. Make sure he's got his water and his food too. He's trying to eat my knuckle, you little turkey. Gobble, gobble, gobble. So, a lot of box prepared meals will be useless in nuclear things. Lanterns, you can get yourself some LED lanterns, you're fine. Anything that's not LED lanterns, well, you better basically make sure of that. Now, a lot of people say, oh, what about the mini freezer or this or candles? Candles will be good, but the problem is if there is a nuclear disaster, you want your battery-powered lanterns. You do not want candles due to the fact that you have to open a window and carbon monoxide could get to you eventually. Think about that from a prepper's point of view. Now again, we're in the main one. Here's all these power things. Fueled stoves again. Cookies, a lot of people say, oh, what about cookies? You can prep cookies, but you got to remember they don't last a lot forever. Of course, cookies are good in a prepping situation like Oreos, Chips Ahoy. I like the Royal Danish. I always buy those tins myself. I love the butter cookies. Just can't get enough. Now, a lot of different items that you can do if it's only is smokers are only usable. Smokers are, see, he's trying to basically, he's trying to get some extra. See, look at this, look at this. He literally turns around and he comes to me every time. Smokers are only used if you are in an outside situation for prepping if it's not nuclear, okay? So, other canned items you can stockpile, but you'll have to rotate is canned fruits. For example, peaches, pears, etc. Make sure to get some of those. Those are always good. I'm going to try to speed this up. Writing apparatuses. You can write things like journals, etc. That's good. There's your potassium iodide tablets, potassium drops. Then you have your deodorant. A lot of people want to keep a couple sticks on hand, your prep kit, just in case you want to cover yourself. I'd also get some of your favorite perfume, just in case so you don't stink in a nuclear situation or a regular situation. We're only halfway through the preppers list, by the way. Canned soups. Now, canned soups are something that's good. But if you see on some of the preppers list, like right here, chicken and sausage gumbo is available. Everything else sold out. Or, as I say sometimes, for some of you preppers out there, discontinue. So, then you have the condensed chicken soups. See, when you look at prepping things, you got to ask yourself several things. In a nuclear situation, do you send Chloe up as an escape front and rat to see if the radioactive? Yes, you do. You give her the Geiger meter and you tell her to go up. By the way, a lot of people say, well, what about radiation suits? Well, if you can afford one, you get one. But otherwise, don't worry about it, okay? And by the way, the whole Chloe thing was a joke. You think I'd send her out with a Geiger counter? I'd just send my stepbrother Ted. Ted, go do it. Alright, so you got fueled lanterns here. Useless. Candles, useless in a nuclear situation. Anything else, find out. A lot of people say laundry detergent. Laundry detergent is if you could have fresh water and your pumps are working in your city and you have your well water or whatever and you can pump up your water. You can use your bathtub as a way to, in disasters alone, to wash your clothes and line dry it. Now, if it's nuclear, you do not want to waste any water at all in your tub. As long as your tub's not radioactive and the bomb only went, say, 100 miles from you and the radiation is slow, you may get radiation sickness from the wind. But the thing is, you still got to be careful. And this is what we try to teach you. But a lot of you people out there, you realize that when it comes to prepping, there's scenarios. You got the non-nuclear scenarios. You can use everything. The non-nuclear scenarios, so you use everything. The nuclear scenarios, you stockpile what you need only and you leave it go. And you hope nothing happens, like this. Protein shakes, you can get those. Dried raisins. Raisins are highly good foods. You keep going down the list here. You got fruits and nuts. Cranberry nuts, like I said, nuts, protein nuts, cashews, peanuts. Good things. I like cashews myself. Then you got baking flour again. Oils, highly wouldn't recommend it due to the fact that the oils alone are not good. Now, a lot of people say, well, what are these? The must-have HD digital tuners, and these are converters. So converters, if you have power, you can probably convert your old TV that you may have at home, say a old glass tube, and you have a little power. You may be able to power it up on a battery power just to use it for a portable. Now, converters are a pain in the ass because you have to have a digital antenna. Let's say you buy it. You buy yourself a portable Sony TV. I set it all up in case power. You can also buy a digital TV. Now, you got to remember, in a nuclear disaster, the airwaves will not be working. So that is why you better pray you do get ham radio operators using their ham radios to relay the messages, because ham radio operators will tell you what's going on. Yeah. So compass is only if you need it for leaving. First aid kit's a must. Survival gear is a must. Now you get into the canned meats. Again, canned meats are really good. Vienna sausages, you buy those if you want. Vienna sausages, I personally don't like Viennas. Chicken, canned chicken's nasty, but if you just eat it as is and stomach it, you're fine. So yeah, that's some of the stuff you can eat. Canned shrimp, canned tuna, canned sardines, canned albacore, all this stuff right there. Cooked shrimp, you can get shrimp in a can. All this, some of this stuff, chicken at the sea. Oysters, Chloe loves oysters. Canned oysters, you can get 10-pack of oysters. You just eat one of those. Kippered snacks, my uncle loved those. So we're only halfway through the preppers list. So you can see canned meats is very important. So canned meats is something you need to have at all times. Sardines, anchovies, portable TV. There's a couple digital portable TVs out there. But again, they require AC/DC, so you can plug it in through a cigarette lighter if you know what you're doing. Otherwise, most likely the airwaves will not be working. So that is just if you have a weather anomaly or every disaster minus nuclear. The TV may work. Okay. Next up is, like I said, compasses. Always carry a bottle or two of Centrum, silver or Centrum vitamins, just in case you need your full vitamin. You can do that. Sewing kit, again, sewing kit's good. Bungee cord, something that Ted recommended time and time again. Oh, I need the bungee cords. Then you have your duct tapes, your electrical tapes. I prefer T-Rex tape. That is the best tape out there. And then you go down the list of other things. Now, you got sugar again. Sugar is only used if you need sugar and you need a little sugar. Sugar is highly good for that. Maple syrup and molasses can be dumped in your coffee, if that is. But remember, if you're in a preparedness thing where you're having problems with your nuclear, you better be stockpiling like energy drinks and energy coffee drinks, drinks in a can, and drinking those over brewing up your coffee, because a lot of people say, oh, well, a nuclear war, I'm just going to brew up some coffee. Really? So you're going to basically take away from your family's water supply to make you a pot of coffee because you think 12 cups of coffee is fine. Drink it out of a damn can, you see. As a prepper, I've been looking up some of these options here. The batteries, always get your batteries. I always buy bricks of batteries for other devices. Irish Spring, you need it. But the Irish Spring's only used if you can spare the water. Remember, bar soap is only used if you're in a non-nuclear situation. If you're in a nuclear situation, your main priorities to survive until someone says the area is clear is always your food and your water. And remember, you can sit there and take care of your fur babies, it's fine too. Because I, for one, my preferred baby here means the world to me, alright? So, dish soap, again, you don't really need to buy dish soap unless it's an emergency. Razors, now if you want to shave every day, you better make sure you have like gallons and gallons of water on hand, because some people feel like they need to shave daily. Another option for emergency preparedness is always carry a couple backup generators, solar generators charged. And what you do is you turn around and you use the electric razor. You may have a little facial stubble. We all do when we get older, women included, like me. So you just and be done. Plain and simple, right? A lot of people sit there and say, really cool. Now, a lot of people ask about the bugging out part, okay? So say you do get the bug out, and you're in an area where things are remotely okay, right? And you people say to me, well, what's with the fishing gear? If you have your bug out gear for fishing gear, you can actually grab some fish. For example, you can buy yourself a fishing kit. You can buy yourself a couple boxes of flies, and you can go fly fish and hope like heck you get dinner. And if you have that bug out kit with your stove, you can cook your meal outside and have like a bivouac bag or a tent, and you're fine. A lot of people sit there and say, oh, well, do you really think it would happen? Yes, if you don't have tank car rod or fly rod or a spin rod, don't worry about it. Now, a lot of people say, well, again, this is it for non-emergencies. Now, for emergencies where you're stuck indoors, the Berkeley 2 or 3 gallon water thing's fine as long as you realize you can get your water filled right away. Now, once you hear it on the radio or you see CNN or your phone tweets, nuclear incoming, you get your water done, you prep everything you can at home, and you go hide somewhere and hope like heck you don't get hurt. And a lot of people sit there will realize their electronics may be fried because countershooting, the counter could cause a new EMP, but the EMP may just wipe out everyone. So just to be on the safe side. Always keep yourself a first aid kit. We're only 3/4 of the way down, or I'd say about 60%. So, coolers. Now again, another thing that you can't have is coolers. But if you have coolers, how are you going to eat? Keep things cool. You won't. Power goes out. You got to eat up everything in the fridge first that you have. Your freezer, if you can. If it's raw meat, well, you better just basically find a way to get it outside and dispose of it, because you ain't going to be cooking. Now, if it's just a natural disaster like non-nuclear, there's ways to do it. You can always cut it up, make meals out of it, use your little stove, cook up the camp stove, etc. Now, everyone knows, so I don't need to explain, toilet paper. Toilet paper is a necessity. Always keep it on hand. Paper towels, same thing. See, I can just skip through this. Another canned goods services that I highly recommend you can eat cold is Dinty Moore beef stew. You eat that stuff, you're golden. I had some Dinty Moore the other day. It was pretty good. A lot of people ask me about beanie weenies. If you get beanie weenies, are fine. Baked beans, again, you can get some Bush's baked beans depending on certain things. Like this here, people are not paying $70 for 12 cans of limited edition Bush's baked beans. Sorry, dude, not going to pay for it. You're smarter than that. You don't want to dump your money into that for prepping. That's 12 meals for you right there. See? Now, you can buy other things. Like, you look at the cans of things like this. Original Bush's baked beans. 12 cans, 20 bucks. 16 ounce, 1 pound cans. That's probably not including the food, so you may be getting like 3 ounces of can, 13 ounces of food. But that's good enough, right? Now, a lot of you people are saying, well, right here, board games. There's board games, card games, etc. Pinnacle cards, bicycle cards, Jenga, etc. We get down to this part, we're now at 80% of the list. Bottled water. Again, bottled water is a must if you're in a nuclear situation, emergency in general. I don't have to explain it. You can choose whatever water you want. Then we get down here to the electric razors. Here you go, son. Keep missing that. So, electric razors is something that I keep telling you guys. It's always good. You get rechargeable, AA, AAA, etc. I mean, now here again, people say, well, for non-emergency reasons, you can get canned coffee. Canned coffee is good. Now, if you don't have it, that's fine. A lot of people say, well, what about the cast iron skillet set? That's if it's a non-emergency and you can use it. All right. Other prepping tools that you can use for long-term storage or long-term food eating is steel-cut oats. Oats can be used as long as you can eat it dry. Add a little water to wash it down, you get dried oat. Another thing is Keebler cracker snacks. Club and cheddar, club and cheddar, peanut butter, etc. Keebler original crackers, so Keebler crackers went up in price. Oh my god, it used to be cheaper than that. Velveeta macaroni cheese, deluxe macaroni cheese again. Another thing that's really good is goldfish flavored crackers. Those are good if you need to. There is a coffee pot here that is propane, but again, you have to prepare the propane cans, which you shouldn't have on hand. Dog food, again, this is like suggestions of items. Dog food is another thing that's always good. Beef jerky, meat sticks, etc. are good. Pistachios, police scanners, tinned popcorn. The Ormel completes. Let me just tell you, the completes and the Oxpawn corned beef. If you like corned beef, it's fine. If you don't like corned beef, highly not recommend it. Cooked hams, 12-pack of cooked hams. There's 6-pack and 12 packs. I always get the 12-pack of the 1-pound hams, 10s. Works good, and you get 12 pounds. You get 12 pounds of food. Sorry about that. Had a dizzy spell for a second. Spam, again, perfect for prepping for nuclear. You can eat your protein. Navy believed in spam. They filled every orifice and subs in World War II. Another thing is, a lot of people have been suggesting suddenly pasta. That's one of Ted's suggestions years ago. You can't literally live on suddenly pasta if you don't have a refrigerator, okay? Other things that you can get that I highly recommend, not recommending as a prepper, is things like canned emergency food supplies, buttermilk biscuits, or scrambled eggs. Unless you have the tools to reconstitute it, it's not going to do you any good. Same with if you're buying emergency preparedness meals in a bucket. Again, the meals in the bucket don't work. Sorry to say. Most of these things don't. Now, like everything you have, like pineapple pieces, freeze-dried, those will work. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff won't work because apparently there's the Kodiak tents. Yeah. Those are all. And then you have all these tents in the bottom. It's for bug outs and emergency earthquakes and you lose your house. Fueled lanterns, again, at the bottom of the list. In case. Camp stoves. The 3 burners were great back in the day, by the way. Blankets, the military blankets, and then you got your emergency food supply for 2 people for 1 week. They're all sold out. If you have ever tried those, they're not that good. And then you can get things like mountain dried, freeze dried, yada yada yada. So, yeah. Anyways, let me add a couple cans of milk to my order. Here we go. There we go. So, alright, so, all in all, my friends, I gotta get going because I got some work to do soon. But do you guys see what I'm talking about for prepping? As nuclear weapons, are you guys fully prepped and ready to go? I hope so, because I hope this video teaches you a few valuable lessons. My stepbrother's gonna be messaging me, "Oh, you need to turn on a closed caption." Why? I'm not getting paid. I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart for my fellow streamers. And that's the thing. Remember what I said. There's a lot of people out there that believe they believe in God. They worship God, and yet, what are they worshiping? Money. Literally, they think more about money and how to stiff people than to listen to people who has the experience. Think about what I said about nuclear versus non-nuclear. Preparing for nuclear, you better get your canned goods stockpiled. Potassium iodide tablets, your canned Spam, your canned soups, your canned beans. Let me tell you before I go, because I only have 27 minutes before I got to do something, so I want to share with you one last bit of advice. Yeah. Well, what's this? Hold on. Hold on. Alright, so apparently they're talking about so apparently that's it to the well, same thing. Okay, so sorry, I had to check the news for a second. So basically what I want to share with you all before I leave is the thing is the American people need to prep just in case for hey Trent, I was about to leave in about 20 minutes or so. I got prepped for something else. I got a meeting I gotta go to. But anyways, glad to see you here. Sorry the videos went 2 hours and 20 minutes today, but at least you get to see me, right? Anyway, so but like I said to everyone watching this video or watching it later through the day, nuclear weapons could be used. Hey, what's up? Huh? Let me guess a little. What's up, Pop? Whoop, whoop. This is Moppy Woofio. I play enough my what's that one game? Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar. You got Woofio in the woof suit, the little talking dog. What's up, pup? This is a pup. Look at that. Isn't he cute? Hey, bud. See, he doesn't like it when he doesn't like it. This is what a schnauzer does, people, when he doesn't get his way. See? Your breath stinks. What's up, pup? You want to go down, huh? Okay. See that? He's just looking at me like. Okay, so bottom line is I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking, Trent. The bottom line is, when you prepare for nuclear, which could happen, it will do the worst collapse in American history. You will see the banking system collapse. You'll see your if hypothetically we drop a nuke in Iran, which is not off the table, and Iran gets nuked because of the way to control the elections and be like, martial law, then you have a new problem on hand. You got the rest of the world either turning their nukes on us, or they're going to do so many sanctions that we're going to be basically not making anything. We're going to be the biggest third-party country in the world. Eventually, we're going to see things happen that hasn't happened in hundreds of years. You're going to see the collapse of the United States from within. You're going to have people on one side saying, well, we don't have wheat, we can't make bread. People on the other side saying, we don't have enough food, we're all dying. And then you're going to see the rest of the world isolating us, right? Isolating us. Literally, isolating us. And in the end, we're not going to have phone service, internet service. We're not going to have much because we decided that it was okay to allow us to nuke Iran, okay? And we don't control the nukes. And that triggers the entire world to isolate us. Now, if the world doesn't isolate us, Trent knows this, we would get nuked ourselves. Which means he'd get nuked, I'd get nuked, Ted would get nuked, Hilljack would get nuked, Cousin Bobo got nuked, everyone would get nuked. So, it's MAD, Mutual Assured Destruction. Now, let's just say that he does nuke Iran. The rest of the world turns around and says, okay, we're not buying American crap anymore. We're isolating America until America comes to the table and dissolves their nukes, does this, this, and this, sends people in for war crimes. I mean, remember, a lot of Christians are like, oh yeah, we need to nuke the Muslims. Remember the Catholic Church back in the day? They wanted to put Allah's name in the Catholic Church, and the higher-ups, like the Pope, said, his name is God, or Jehovah, or Elohim, or Yahweh. Think about it. All of a sudden, I mean, look at it. There's 1.5 billion Muslims, maybe 2 billion, and there's about 1.5 to 2 billion Christians. Everyone else is atheist, or as not agnostic. Think about it. So if you're looking at it, what are you really doing? What are you really doing? You're suppressing the people. I mean, I hear all the time, oh, well, Iran is a bad... Really? Let me put it this way. If Iran is a bad country, right? I mean, look. Most of the world's countries are basically backing down. Even the Middle East is backing down. President Donald Trump got a free airplane. We, the taxpayers, had to outfit it. Think about it. Now they're backing down. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, they're all backing. I have a family member, nice sweatshirt. Yeah, I gotta go to this NARANON meeting, Narcotics Anonymous, where I gotta run the tech mod today. Apparently they're not gonna be happy that I'm wearing a billboard for Rainier beer. I need a new sweatshirt, so la. But anyways, thanks, Trent. Basically, the bottom line, people, is that nuclear weapons, if used, we're not coming back. You're going to see a financial collapse of the U.S. markets. Not one person is going to buy from us. And yet we hear, oh yeah, we got the Straits of Hormuz. We own it. We have it. Really? And why is it every time I turn around, the price of fuel is going up? Yeah, it's a Qatar plane. Yeah, Qatar plane, exactly. We, the taxpayers, had to pay for it. And now, supposedly, allegedly, we got to pay for the new bunker that's going to cost $4 billion minimum for the White House, which they're ordering to build fast. And then I hear, oh, we're going to release 300,000 metric tons of ground meat so the people in the elections can vote with their conscience because we're bringing prices down. Has anyone ever thought that we're killing between 300,000 to 1 million metric tons of horse meat? Yeah, we're killing wild horses. So, just to make a joke here before I go, I guess Trent doesn't mind going to the store and seeing ground beef, looking at it and going, oh, okay, I'm going to eat this. And he goes, oh, this tastes funny. And then someone analyzes and says, hey, dude, Trent, man, you just ate some ground horse meat. Back in the West, they used to eat horse meat or mule meat as a backup. Yeah, back in the day, the Texas Rangers did. But nowadays, apparently you don't eat horse. You don't eat that. What's next? He's going to kill off 100 million dogs because apparently dog meat's next on the list. You don't eat dogs. Look at him. Isn't he so adorable, people? This is my baby. His name's Moppy, by the way. I'm waiting to see what Trent's got to say about horse meat. Anyways, peeps, like I said, I got things to do today. Gaming to do after my meeting. I still got to figure dinner out. It might be ramen again. That thing as a prepper. We only have like 1 pound of hamburger, so Chloe's like, I'm going to use it. Well, you can use whatever you want, Chloe. I don't give a damn. Because apparently, the hamburger is closed. Plain and simple. Me, I really don't care. You see, I can sit there. And by the way, let me tell you a joke, okay? A lot of people have asked me, saw my videos, and they say, hey, you're a great prepper. Sometimes they ask me, are you really that hard on Chloe? Well, let's put it this way. What if I told you that I wouldn't waste my money on Chinese-made $50 meat grinder because it may be the worst piece of junk in the world? Chloe wants a $50 meat grinder. She wants a $100 blender, right? Well, let's say she buys a blender. Smoothies, right? Has anyone ever priced out the average basic smoothies to try to lose weight? You'd have to be a wealthy person to drink too many smoothies. What's next? Cook hot dogs and it turn into smoothie. Here you go, drink your smoothie. It's a hot dog smoothie. I mean, come on, right, peeps? I mean, literally. So, yeah. So, anyways, are you prepared? Remember what I said about the prepping list. When you prep with those 3 lists on my About Me page. About Me page 1. This is all prepping for non-nuclear things. Now, for nuclear, like I said, you prep with water, canned goods. Water and canned goods. Yes. Water and canned goods. Yeah. Anyways. Water, canned goods, potassium iodide tablets, batteries, and a few other items. I'll put together a nuclear preppers list for you this weekend, and we'll get back to this. But I just want you to be worried that it's still on the table. And this is the only way I think they could divert the elections, by dropping a nuke. Now, think about it. This ain't about just stopping the election. This is about martial law and everything else. You can't do it one way, you do it another, right? And I'm just here to warn you. I don't think it'll happen, but it's still on the table as an option until we can come to the negotiating tables. However, I would stockpile toilet paper because it ain't going to get easier. It's going to get worse. That's all I'm going to say. So with that said, everyone, I got to get moving along. Get along, little doggy. Remember what I said? Everything happens for a reason. Are you prepped? Are you going to buy canned box goods or are you going to buy canned meats? I'd get the canned meats myself. Of course, a nice can of Spam now and then wouldn't be too bad, but stockpiling beans won't do any good. And other things, you can also get canned green beans, canned corn. You can live on corn too, like cream corn myself. Think about it. So, anyways, there you have it, preppers. If you have anything to say or do, you can always email me at sanjuanislandprepper@aol.com, sanjuanislandprepper@yahoo.com, sanjuanislandprepper@proton.me. Throw me an email. I'd love to hear from you, what you guys think. If you like my content, you can always donate a gift card. In this economy, most of you can't afford it, but I always throw that out there. I wish people would donate gift cards. And then I wouldn't have to basically, well, let's just say, I think when I do these long videos, like explaining things, I've earned it, but I'm not entitled. I'm not an entitled brat like some people. So, secondly, for the record, I know we're all hurting on the economy ways, so gift cards can't be procured. But I'm here to give you the actual facts free without you going and subscribing to a guy with 1 million subscribers that all he talks about every day 3 or 4 times. Oh, we're going to be nuked. We're going to die. We're going to get nuked. We're going to die. You better prep. The bank's going to collapse. I've heard this BS for 4 years. Has it happened yet? Negative. That's why when I say it, I say in a way, just prepare. Don't listen to some jack-off telling you every day, we're going to die, we're going to be poor, we're going to be nuked, we're going to be poor. Just take it as a grain of salt, but also prep just in case. Anything can happen in the next 70 days. If we get past that, then the next step happens, which is after the midterms, which means between November 3rd and January 3rd, 2 months, 60 days, lame duck session. Unless there's an emergency where he's got to declare full power, we'll be fine. We just got to wait for that 60 days, which means slogging through Christmas time and New Year's. And then after New Year's, we see everything sworn in. But that's where I say, better be safe than sorry, right? Please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestion. Hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button, subscribe. Keep the comments nice, all we ask. Leave the comments nice is all we ask. If you like my comment, please donate. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. I'm always going to be free for all of you. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.